morning, and welcome to Coffee Talk with Sarah. Have some coffee. We'll talk. Today's topic is Bush's 2007 State of the Union address. We'll start with the critiques because there seem to be an awful lot of them. I feel that Bush is the only person who hasn't caught on yet that his new plan for Iraq sucks. Bush did stand his ground firmly, though, saying that he chose this course of action because it had the best chance for success. I feel that this was more him harping on America's egos and desires not to be considered losers. I do have to give Bush credit, though. He didn't mess up too many words. I'm sure he must have been nervous. He went into this presidential speech having the lowest approval rating thus far. The only other president to have ever had to give the State of the Union address with such a low approval rating was Richard Nixon in 1974. And that was in the middle of the Watergate scandal, so that's not saying too much. Bush did throw out a few good ideas, though, like lowering America's fuel consumption and creating a temporary workforce for foreign workers. He also talked about giving tax breaks to families without health insurance so that they could use that extra money to buy the insurance on their own. However, I can't help but notice that the domestic issues that Bush talked about were really just a catalyst to get the American people on his side about Iraq. His reasons for lowering fuel consumption had less to do with environmental issues and more to do with dependency on the Middle East. He even threw the word terrorism in while talking about his temporary work program. As per what is typical for presidential speeches, not a whole lot was actually said. A few good ideas were tossed around. In the beginning, he even talked about getting rid of the deficit. But never once did he actually say how it was going to happen. He had a few good ideas, but said that he could do them all without ever raising taxes. While idealistic Republicans gave him a standing ovation, the more realistic Democrats just rolled their eyes. Now turning to the good stuff. The star of the speech was Miss Nancy Pelosi. This housewife-turned-politician was the first woman to be seated with the President and Vice President as Speaker of the House. I send a huge congratulations to Miss Pelosi and hope that this is the first of many new turns happening in Washington. Perhaps a female president or a black man as president in the next election? I think you know who I'm talking about, but we'll get to that next time. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time with Coffee Talk with Sarah.